My name is Majid. I live in Woking, and I've come from an IT security background. Currently I'm teaching at the Rabat Institute Arabic language with the 7 to 10-year-old kids. Alhamdulillah, I was fortunate enough, blessed to take part in the Hajj 2005 with my wife and my parents. Mashallah, it was an amazing experience. It's probably one of the toughest things that I've done in my life. Physically, I think I was just so tired at the end of it. I was completely broken. Now, a lot of young men maybe not admit that, but that's how it was for us. It was a very, very spiritual experience also. It was the first time I've been, and I remember, one of the many sort of blessings that we experienced it was a feeling that, coming into the vicinity of when you enter the Haram itself in Makkah, that when you enter it and you look upon the Kaaba for the first time, there's a really powerful magnetic pull towards it, and it's in its looking at it, it's a simple black box or cube, but yet you got various people from all around the world just mesmerized by this simple black cube, and just this awe about the whole this magnetic force field, I guess, if you want to say, that every single Muslim in this world, that's sitting at that Hajj at that time is experiencing, probably the same thing as what I was experiencing. And then being able to sit there for, the 7-week period that we were there for, and just, look upon it and at complete amazement, and just reflect on that thing, the millions of people around the world that face this very cube and pray their 5 daily prayers was something that was, I thought was amazing to think about and to reflect upon. Not only that, I think the fact that, when you're doing the tawaf and the various rituals that come along with the Hajj, just knowing, if somebody's read some basic books on Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, then you'd realize that not only did the Messenger, many other great individuals, including obviously the Prophet ﷺ, have walked upon that very land, and you don't know, or that very place, and you don't know whose footsteps you're walking upon. So, and there's, from the great companions to prophets to the very, very esteemed scholars and great scholars that have, walked upon the face of this planet, have been to this sacred place and done the tawaf, and we don't really realize the history until you read about it, that actually it's not just a simple 7 circumambulations around the Kaaba. You're actually walking upon a place that is very, very historical for the Muslim. Many key events happen in that place, and when you're doing that with that knowledge and that background of reading the Seerah, then it really changes that experience. And I was fortunate enough that I did read a little bit of Seerah and what have you before we went. So it made that feeling really, really special. And then there's many people that will, if you talk to people, they'll say that how was the Hajj experience? And some people say, well, words can't describe it. And words can't describe it because each individual will experience his own unique, specific Hajj, according to what level he went in, maybe how much study he's done beforehand, research, all this type of thing. For me, obviously, as everybody else has said, the two places in terms of the Haramain, Makkah, Medina, two very different places. And many people again will say Makkah very powerful. If you just look at the building itself, it's very, it's a big, solid, well-built, building that, when you go there, it just emanates power, and then the opposite of that is, again, which what people will say is that Makkah is very powerful, very aggressive, hustle, bustle, which is exactly what it's been through history. And then you look at Medina, very slender, slim, beautiful, elegant mosque, and obviously that's because the messenger's there, so the mercy is there, and the power, the quwwah, is in Makkah. So it really, and many people have noticed this when you talk to people, whatever background they come from, whether from Asia or the Arabs and what have you. So that was very, very profound. And on top of that, obviously, if you do the ziyarah, so if you go to Uhud, we were fortunate to go to Badr, and obviously to the various Jabals, the mountains, Jabal Nur, Thawr, and what have you, and then visiting Jannat al-Mala, al-Baqi, and then visiting those very, very great, famous individuals that are buried there. They're the, our role models, and to stand upon, the graves of these individuals and to reflect that these were the people that sacrificed everything for, for this religion, that we're fortunate enough to just keep a beard, walk around with a thobe with not too much hassle, is a blessing, back to those individuals. So that was some of the things that were going through my mind when I was doing the Hajj. We've been back nearly sort of 7 odd years now from the time that we've done. After that, I've been once to Umrah with my wife also, which was a beautiful experience. But I mean, coming back and obviously knowing you've done the Hajj and whatever, the main thing obviously we reflect upon that, inshallah, that it was an accepted Hajj. That's the most important thing. I think obviously coming back and certain things, when you're going back to your old ways, I think knowing that you've done Hajj, that helps you, because obviously it sort of is almost a focus to keep you back on the straight and narrow. But in terms of a daily thought process, would I be going through it? I don't know. Have I gone back one step? I don't know. I think we do think about it, how it's affected me, that I know that I've done the Hajj, and it's a special blessing that inshallah, that once you've gone, the reward of it, that you're coming back like a newborn. So you do try to focus on it as and when you can remember that. So being back, the urge obviously is there to go back, inshallah, if God wills. More so now it's Hajj season again, and there's people going, there's family members that are leaving, and so that really reignites the flame of, oh yeah, subhanallah, I really want to go, inshallah, make niyyah again. So I think the least that we can do is at least to make the intention of wanting to go, and inshallah that Allah will connect us spiritually with that gathering.